Welcome back to the Pacific War, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 9.11. And of course we're playing as Japan. I gotta say all that just because this may be their first video and don't even know what we're looking at here. Okay, we've got Wake Island. That's the bombardment fleet. That was operating there. Yeah, back down to here. I think we want to go. Do we have supply running to there? No, we do not. Okay, so we want to come down here, create a supply convoy. So we have so many ships to be able to do all of this. Wake Island all the way at the bottom. Okay. So that we run supplies everywhere. Now, I was, advised. I do like your advice, people. I may not always be smart enough to take it, but I'm very happy to get it. What I'm sort of doing here is... Okay, I think we're ready for this again. Okay, is another port strike down here. We want to hit them with everything we have all at once. Overwhelm their any air defenses. Hit them. Oh, I was suggested to hit, I believe it is F7. Okay, and we can go through national statistics here, I guess. Ships sunk. Okay, there we go. I think this is what to see. Now, this I can see. I hadn't quite honestly known about this. There's a lot of things that Hearts of Iron and all of the 2 versions, because I have not dealt with 1 or 2, but in 3 and 4 there is a lot of depth to the game. Okay, a lot, and so I often, quite honestly, haven't explored areas because, to me, statistics, I want to say that they're not unimportant, but they're just something I just really like ship sunk and things like this that just dug in. I just don't normally myself dig into. So we can see Australia, they lost this country sinker, of course. Coastal battleship, it looks like, actually a couple. Oh, wait a minute, no, have we lost these? Let's see. Oh no, okay, yeah, sinker's name. Oh yeah, look, oh, so I was wondering about this. Oh, sinker type. Okay. Oh man, I gotta learn how to read these. Shouldn't be. Okay, so this is the class, or the name. This is the class. This is the name of the sinker. This is the so we've used coastal battleships too. Because I was wondering if it's coastal battleships. Didn't seem right. Some cruisers, not carriers. Some subs. So they've lost some of those, sunk by Japan. Germany's been sinking a few there. Been sinking a bunch. United Kingdom's been sinking a bunch of German stuff. And look at all that. Italy going down. They've really lost a lot. Wow, look at all that. And let's see what we've lost here. We've lost anti-aircraft light cruiser, destroyer, motor torpedo boats, sub, pocket battleship, 2 of them, I guess. I knew we had 1 down. Yeah, not so bad. Let's come down here, USA. So you basically were the only thing sinking anything USA. Battleship, destroyer, heavy cruiser. Liner D. The Essex, carrier, more destroyers. IDA, okay, the Idaho. Ikagi, got that, yeah. We looked at a lot of this. As I said, this is a quicker way to look through the list. Wow, we've got a lot of their ships sunk. And, well, Italy sort of had something of a revenge on United Kingdom there, and so has Germany, so they've been shooting up each other. It's not all been one-sided in that war. Okay, and let's see here. Okay. So, back to this. Yeah, you've been in air intercepting, you're still air intercepting. So they start coming up, but I don't know that they have any air around here other than it's based off of the carriers, which they would have air. Come in. We're going to do a massive port strike. There may be nothing there. They may have moved it. But if it's here, I want to hit it hard. Yes, as you can see, we've moved a lot of forces in here. A lot of air units, as you can see down there. Yes, carrier group. Okay. We've won that battle over there. Cool. So we can still see what's here. We've got a bunch of CVs. More. Oh, lots of CVs. Oh wow. A lot more than I think US had until the latter years of the war. And they are fighting the American carrier groups, which have, well, they don't have any supply because they don't have enough supply coming in here because they have a port that now no longer has the ability to bring any supplies in because we destroyed it with a port strike. Okay, flying boat prototype has advanced very good. And yes, grayed out. Let's do the electro boat right now. So these guys are going after their CAGs. Well, we're just going to keep this up for a while. Okay, didn't I have, thought I had, well, maybe it's that. Okay, so let's group these together. And these guys are going to come over here. And we're going to pick up one of these guys. And if you remember, don't know how we connected to it, but because an industrial zone popped up there for the US, I want to grab it. I do not think industrial zones actually have to be connected, you know, with ports and whatever like you do to get supplies out. Okay, and let's come back here. Yes. Okay, you guys stop. You're actually heading back there from here. You come over here because we're not going to leave this garrison just sitting here. And as you can see, we have yet to take on the Philippines. But other than, well, we're going to take out these here, Johnson Island and some of these other ones, but I'm actually going to delay this, and I'm going to keep this going up for a while. See what we can do. See what we can take out. These guys are coming into here. And yeah, I don't see a really good reason why not to take both. And we're going to invade here. And we're going to send this fleet down. This one here. No, I think we'll do the... I thought we had the big... That's that. Oh, we had the one with the Taiho. Oh, it's out here patrolling. Okay, that's good. I was reading about the Taiho. Well, not reading. Watched a YouTube video. Talked about the Taiho. After the Pacific War gets, started and going, sometime around this time, maybe a little later. Because I think I would say, well, it's after the Battle of Midway. So whenever that was exactly, it's still fairly early. Midway was on the Pacific War. But Japan decides to go in two directions simultaneously about their carriers. Their pre-war carriers are unarmored flight decks like the American carriers are, where the British went with armored flight decks. So they decide to go with a similar sort of fleet of real carrier groups, not CVLs, but real carriers that are sort of lightweight, fast carriers. And they decide to go with the Taiho class, or what becomes the Taiho class. Only the Taiho is built of it, but others were either planned or started. I think a second carrier in the group was started. And not only did they do an armored flight deck on it, they also did an armored hull. And I knew before that they actually did a spaced hull. I didn't quite know it was armored. And that's maybe what it was pretty. They were talking about pretty thick. The idea of a spacing on the hull, so that there's sort of like a dual hold, or inner and outer, but really just sort of around the main sort of hull section center, not too much at the prow or the stern, I think. And it was really meant to be an anti-torpedo hull spacing, so that obviously eventually it could flood and they could counter flood it to keep the ship balanced. But in sections, so that torpedo hits, blows up, and at least initially into a air-filled space. So it designed to hit that and not penetrate into anything vital, just sort of spaced armor, blow up on it. They do that, but they also armor up the hull, and they show some photographic comparisons. So just how low the thing is riding in the water. It's still like moving at about 33 knots or something. It's still a fast carrier, which 33, 36, I think, is sort of what the speed of the fast carriers is. And part of the reason they wanted to do that is to create wind. get 30 more knots of wind coming over the deck. Obviously, they try to turn into the wind to launch aircraft or to receive aircraft, just so that the aircraft is still moving through the wind, through the air, faster. Apparent airspeed, or real airspeed, yes, but apparent speed over the ground. So they wanted to be able to, speed up and do that. So it was still fast, and it basically, the Taiho has a very short career. They went into the sort of the subtitle of it, why you should train your crews, I think was, or something like that, subtitle for talking about this, because a U.S. submarine spots it, gets within good setup range for the Taihos, and they had, by that time, had fixed, and this is late war. This is either late 44 or early 45. They had fixed their torpedo problem, so they fire a spread of torpedoes. One of the torpedoes that was going to hit the boat, one of the pilots taking off and circling around had spotted it, so he dives his aircraft and crashes into the torpedo, obviously killing himself, but stopping the torpedo from hitting the ship. Another one goes in and hits. What they hadn't really done well is armor up the aviation fuel section, if I remember correctly. I already knew that and the problem is with the aviation fuel. So it ruptures and gets leaks, and everyone starts smelling, around their aviation fuel. So since the crew is not well trained in what to do, well, there's no fire. So you're not supposed to, there's no reason to start putting, fire suppressant foam on anything, because there's no fire, so you don't need to do that. And, there's a lot of fumes building up in here. Let's turn on the ventilating system. Well, that, instead of clearing out the fuel vapors in that section of the ship, it spreads the fuel vapors everywhere in the ship. And especially since there's all kinds of things that create sparks, even tiny little mini ones with electricity often, because I don't know if you look closely, often when you plug in a plug, it often sparks. But you got fuel engines on, aircraft engines on the flight deck, all kinds of stuff that do it, and so that eventually just ignites it up, and it's just worse than it could be. Had they flooded the area with foam, and did a smarter sort of release of it, they very well may have kept it from being severely damaged, because it was not severely damaged from the one torpedo. It was damaged, most assuredly, but not severely. Now, it probably would have only saved its life by a few hours or something, because once the Americans fired their spread of torpedoes and one of them hit, I'm sure they radioed, "Hey, we see a carrier and it's here," because you don't want to give away your position beforehand, because then the carrier could take evasive action. So once you know that there's an American submarine out there somewhere. Oh, and protecting it from torpedoes was also not just from submarine torpedoes. That was a worry, but not a major worry for them. The major worry, of course, was aircraft torpedoes. Torpedo bombers, as well as if an enemy destroyer happens to get close to it. But it was mostly aircraft torpedoes that they were worried about. So we're going to move you over here. You're just going to move there. Shore bombardment and just protection and whatnot. So we've got Singapore. We're closing up this pocket here. We're pushing here. The Taiho would be a worthy thing to make a specialized Oh, stop. We want to come everything in there. Yes. Go straight into the beach. We'll do that. Against whatever it is they're facing. Okay, you support that attack. Oh, out here. How is our... Okay, no orders, no orders. Yeah, you're good, you're good. The interception. I think everybody else is back to being... Okay, pretty damaged up. But I just want them to sort of like all sit, and then we'll wait for another major strike. Yeah, we have 42. Yeah, I think we're over it by a few, but I think we can repair most of the stuff here. Okay. I think that'll be good enough. Invasion. I don't really, well... They'd have those carriers, but none of them are well supplied, so we're gonna bring in this guy. I don't really think we're in danger too much of having this attacked. It could happen, of course, but okay, we've taken out a destroyer flotilla here. That is why, one of the reasons, we were sending them to protect our invasion craft. Okay, twin engine bomber crew layout. Okay, good. That's that done for a while. I don't know if I want to reduce. I know there's a lot of good help, but I'm even more critical about range because of the, shall we say, absolute distances we have to fly at times. Oh, we want to do that. We should have been... Yeah, torpedo bombers improvement, yes. Because at times we may not just be able to build another airbase because there's nothing around and we want the extra range. Major victory. Convoy spotted. That isn't that. Is this the major victory? Maybe. Okay, swing around that way. Or was it here? Don't know. You're coming there, so you guys start the attack there. Good. Or is it this thing? Okay. They're pushing down from there. You ride your horses down that way. You come to the port. And has the big, yeah, it looks like it. Yep. Okay, that'll be fine. We're getting ready for tour of, I think that may be enough. Just get on board. So this is our first stop here. Rebase. Oh, we got a submarine flotilla off here. Oh, I forgot about this. Wow. Okay, coming in after the 1st Australian Division. I knew, yeah, sort of did. Okay, the coastal battleships. And we have landing craft. Let's... Yeah, you're sort of beat up, but come down here anyways and patrol. Okay, well, come out here, convoy raid pass, so we try to sink some of those convoys out there. Let's look at the zone. Okay, can you come to there? Yes. Trying to, I could just sit right off of here and try to do it, but they may attack me, where if they're out here, maybe take a little longer for them to get to where they can attack with anti-submarine operations. Whether air or land base. How are you doing? Okay, I'm just sort of hoping to come up here and support that attack with this unit. Yep, they're bombing me. Bomb my infrastructure. Logistical bombing, which is messing with. Okay, let's fly air superiority right over there. See if those big heavy bombers come back and see if we can shoot them up. Yeah, there they are. Like they sent in some fighters too. How is the rest of our submarine warfare going? Okay, couple of 3 convoys sunk there. We're doing some battles out here, battling there, sinking a bit of there. Okay, and we're sinking a bunch of convoys around here. Very good. 2, 1, 1. These guys are coming back here. Let's head for Hawaii. Just so we may see where, if anything, we're getting anything there. Well, they no longer have ports out here because, well, this was probably the, well, maybe stuff going to the Philippines still. Rebase to here. Okay, heavy artillery placements. Very nice. That'll affect artillery and whatnot. Is it one in here? Yeah. Okay, the one and done. Okay. Okay, yeah, we want to finish that off. We want to do reconnaissance, most assuredly. Not saying that's the most important of any of the ones, but it's one of the ones, and I spotted it, so we're doing it. Okay. Well, we've got a bunch of pocket battleships. Those seem to be pretty effective. We lost 2 in the in the battle, but seemed to be pretty effective. Bunch of light cruisers, destroyers, more pocket battleships coming. Let's go with 3 submarines. Yeah, and we'll do a couple more of the twin engine fighters as well. And yes, we still have to do the, or still on the to-do list, of course, is going after the Philippines. I think these guys are going to come over here to do that. Get on board the boat. Can't you get on board the boat? Don't tell me I gotta. There we go. Move to the channel, which is on board the boat. There we go. Pick up the island garrison there. Rebase to there. And we have another one in a commando unit. We may put that with an airborne force. And yeah, you're a little too good for that unit. Let's just grab somebody down here. No, not an amphibious attack. Experience gain. Oh, old guard. That sounds good for sitting in a island garrison. Yeah, that's all right. Actually, the AI did it very good. And where's sub command? Okay, coastal submarines. Well, let's check out how the ones are doing in the Mediterranean soon. But first, you guys come down here. I think that'll be good. How are we doing down here? Are they still around? Yeah. Okay. Oh, they're just, because they're doing it, they'll get repaired. So they sunk 2 there and however many, oh, 1 there. Okay. And up here, well, somebody's sinking, us or the Germans. Sunk something up here. Maybe the Germans. But I don't know whether that convoy route is done. If it's done by Allied ships, then we could be sinking them. If it's done by Soviets, we're not. But they're being of some use. Okay, these guys are going that way. They can just occupy there. How are we doing up here on this front? Well, it looks like they're sending away a lot of forces. They're keeping a bunch there, though. You guys come here. Once these guys get over, we'll see what we can do with a attack from these 2 provinces onto this province here. Well, you come back here. Hopefully that's true. I know that we've had a lot of logistical, but that is reducing the revolt risk. So we have a little better partial logistic bombing of that. But that's doing better. Bringing in some more oil, which is nice. Oh, that's probably, yeah, it's too much. Let's go down to what we need, which means we have even more production capabilities. No, I know I need more ships, but I want more. These guys. How is our Air Force doing now? They're getting back some of their strength, both organizationally and structurally, so we'll go in soon. Okay, good thing we have these guys down here providing some more coverage. Amphibious unit training. Yeah, that's far enough ahead for the moment. Let's do more recon unit training. You're gonna halt, because I don't want these guys cut off. Okay, they can move to there, they can hold there. These guys can move up and support them in a moment. They can hold there. Yeah, that's all looking good. Oh, down here. Okay, well, they've got to be running out of supplies someday there. Okay, you guys come this way. And industrial production has advanced. Very, very good. Take that off. So yeah, more ICs and commerce defense. So that would be down here. And 43, we're going to let that go because again we have a lot of commerce. Oh, we can do submarine crew training. And although this has been very fun, I think I need to end the episode here. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the videos if you would. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And of course, I love hearing from you. So post some sort of comment. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.